Okay, this is my current setup. Motor's running. My fog lights are operating, or my off-road lights, or baby laser gun lights are operating off this switch. My headlights, I have to turn this switch on. Now it's normal, that's low beam. This is the high beam. What I want to do, another thing that I discovered is that when this is off, if I flick this, it's just the high beam circuit. So what I want to do is I want to take this and join these two together from here to here to make it do that. The reason why is I want to make it so everything operates off this switch. So when I turn this switch on and I turn it off, it does this. So I can put all the operation on here, because this being over here, even though it's an on-off switch, it's impractical in the real world. I want to have everything on one switch. Okay, at first an explanation of how I got to where I am now. See right here, this is the relay, and this is one wire here, and then one wire over here going to the lights. If you look behind here, that red wire that's coming out of this plug is the trigger wire that goes up into the head of the light and then over to this switch over here. That's the trigger wire. That's the trigger switch. It's just a loop. Then it comes down into the relay, and when it gets tripped, it triggers a electromagnet that's hardwired to the battery. So there's a low amperage circuit and a high amperage circuit. The high amperage circuit's got 14 gauge wire, so it's to carry more energy. So that's basically what's happening now. Now this one right here, if you look, this is the box. It's hard to see because the light's not that great. This is the box, that's the back side of the glove box over here. This glove box here, and the plug that's inside for the charging plug. That's the back side. I'm losing my voice. This plug here is the voltage that supplies the charging plug. I chose this because if you look in your fuse box, there is a 2 amp blue circuit fuse. So this is only fused by 2 amps. So this is also fused by 2 amps. It's the lowest circuit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to here, to this plug right here. And I'm going to, there's 2 wires. One's for the high beam, one's for the low beam. I'm going to figure out which one the high beam is. And I'm going to move this wire over here and put it in here. That's the game plan. And then I'll just be working off the one switch. I'll be pulling the power, which is very, very, very low power. It's not going to affect anything. Just to trigger this relay and then move everything over. I can turn it off and on. I can either have it on or off, but I'll be able to flick it with both of them simultaneously from one button. Here, I'll be able to use this one button to turn it off and on, which makes more sense. Okay, this is now in its resting place. I added a wire tie because I could not get the thing here to close 100%. It's like 99% shut, but it's safe. It's just because the wire this wire I added is obstructing the plug a little bit. So now this red wire right here is what's controlling the auxiliary lights down here. And it's tied into this switch on the top. A for auxiliary. Now if you look here, and you look down here, right here, these are the two pins that used to be in this plug, and they're negative. And those two pins are tied into this switch. This is to turn the headlight, the low beam headlight, off and on. I literally need 3 hands to do this. Okay, this is the regular headlight off and on switch. So those are the 3 buttons. So now with the new setup, I can take this, with the engine running, I can flick the light for the high beam. The low beam doesn't work, it's disabled. The low beam's controlled over here. Okay. But if I activate this switch, nothing happens. But when I hit this button, I can do both. So I can actually, it doesn't come into play unless the high beam's on, which is okay for me, it makes more sense. That's the whole purpose.